Oh, hello there. Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I really hope so. So here we go. Oh my goodness, I know. It's incredible. This is the fourth live stream that I've done this week. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very, very surprised to see me here again. So, for all those who are asking, Mr. Duncan, why are you here suddenly? Again, we can't believe it. Well, the reason why I'm here is because I thought it would be a nice thing to do a little live stream on another gorgeous day. This is the third day of summer, dare I say. So now we have had 3 consecutive days, one after another. So this is the third consecutive day with sunshine and, dare I say it, warm summer-like temperatures. So I really can't believe it. Is there anyone on the live chat? First of all, can I apologize for being slightly late? The reason why I'm slightly late is because there was a woodpecker in my garden. There was a woodpecker feeding from one of my bird feeders. So what I did, I decided to postpone the live stream until the woodpecker flew off. And that's what it did. So it had a little feed and then it flew off. And so that's the reason why I'm slightly late, because I was going to come on at 3 o'clock, but instead I thought I would come on at about 20 past 3. I'm live in the garden and it's a beautiful day. It's not as warm as yesterday. Now, yesterday was absolutely amazing. It was around about 23, maybe 24 degrees. But today it's around about 19 degrees, I think. 19 degrees, so not as warm as yesterday. So lots of people on the live chat. Hello to Alamiga, and also Saika. Hello to you. I really should have put my reading glasses on. Today. Hello. Oh, hello to Bayan. Hello to Bayan. How are you? Nice to see you here again. Also to Julie G. Hello, Julie. Nice to see you here again. Also, hello to Shaky MD. Oh, Shake MD. Hello to you. Nice to see so many people here already. I wasn't sure how many people were going to actually be here today because I was on last night with my live sunset. And then the day before that, I was also on live doing my live walk on my mobile phone, and also my usual late and live lesson as well on Wednesday evening. So I've been doing quite a few live streams this week. Hi, hello Mr. Duncan, Amri Wadi is here. Now normally I see you on a Sunday, so it's nice to see you here today. Yes, it's just after, in fact it's just coming up to 3:30 in the afternoon. My next door neighbour's dog is barking. Hello there. Hello, little doggy. Yes, it's only me. I think the dog wants to talk to me. It's feeling jealous. Hello, Mr. Duncan. It's very nice to see you again. Ching Ji. Oh, hello to you as well. Thanks a lot for joining me. Hi, Mr. Duncan. How are you? It is great to see you. Pori Akdogan. I hope I pronounce your name right. Hello, doggy. Hi. Yes. Can you see me? Yes. Don't worry. Oh, hello. I like you. Zhao Mei. Where are you watching at the moment? I have a feeling you might be in China. Or maybe Vietnam. I apologise if I'm wrong. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Says, oh my goodness, you are alive. Yes, of course I'm alive. Why did you think otherwise? Of course I'm alive. In a moment we are going to share a very magic moment of time. You're going to watch me hang some of my washing on the line because I've been very busy washing my clothes today. So whenever the weather is like this, it is always a good idea to wash your clothes because you can hang them outside in the fresh, warm air. It's very nice indeed. Mr. Duncan, have you got any pets? I haven't, but my next door neighbour has a little doggy. And sometimes it is very curious. It likes to have a look at what is going on next door. So no, I don't have any dogs. I don't have any cats. I suppose Mr. Steve is like a pet, I suppose. Talking of Mr. Steve, I think Mr. Steve has just arrived back home from work. Why is grammar so hard to learn? Well, one of the reasons why grammar is so hard to learn, so if you are learning a new type of grammar, so for example, if you speak Italian or Spanish and you are learning English, then you have to learn the new grammar rules. So quite often, if you are learning a second language, it can be very difficult getting used to the different grammar rules. So that's one of the reasons why it can be different or can be difficult learning English as a second language. The grammar rules sometimes cause a lot of problems. Many, many problems, in fact. Yes, the woodpecker was in my garden and it was feeding from the bird feeder. And I was going to start my live stream at 3 o'clock. But I didn't want to disturb the woodpecker. It looked so happy on the bird feeder, pecking away. So I didn't want to disturb it. I am from Bangladesh. Oh, hello, Sheikh MD. It's nice to see you. Everyone is welcome. Wherever you are watching in the world, you are more than welcome to join in. Okay, I'm going to hang out some more washing because I'm putting some washing on my clothes line to dry in the sunshine. So if you don't mind, I'm going to turn the camera round so you can see my clothes line, and then you can enjoy me hanging my clothing out. So please bear with me. Don't go away. If you've just joined me and you are wondering what is going on, don't worry, there is nothing wrong with your computer or your calendar. It's Mr. Duncan live in the garden. I thought I would do a live stream today because the weather is so nice. Oh, and Mr. Steve has just got back from work as well. Oh my goodness, incredible. There are so many things going on at the moment around me, I can't cope. I've got hungry woodpeckers, I've got Mr. Steve wanting a cup of tea, and I've got the washing to hang out. I've got an aeroplane that keeps flying over me. I've got a dog next door that wants to say hello. My life is so hectic. Look who's here.
Hello.
It's Mr. Steve.
Oh, and I've come back and Mr. Duncan's working hard. Obviously, I've been working hard.
Yes.
Mr. Duncan's working hard, putting out washing.
I've been so busy today. I've been busy doing all sorts of things, washing the clothes. I've just had my next door neighbour's dog barking at me, saying hello. I've had the woodpecker wanting to eat. Oh, look at that, Mr. Steve. Oh, what was that? Were you just holding my underpants?
I'm not sure.
I think they were my underpants, or whether your underpants.
What a lovely day.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it? It feels great to be alive.
I should, in theory, still be working because I've come home early because I've got some paperwork to do, some administration, getting all my reports done by 5 o'clock. Actually, we can knock off at 4:30 on a Friday, which is quite good. Knock off, that means we can finish work at 4:30. Isn't that right, Mr. Duncan? Knock off. If you say you knock off work,
the time you knock off is the time you finish work.
You finish work.
The time you finish work, you knock off. So what time do you knock off, Mr. Steve?
Well, on a Friday, we're allowed to knock off at 4:30. But I've got a bit of computer work to do. Few reports. Mr. Duncan's moving the microphone closer. You better carry on hanging out the washing, Mr. Duncan. So I'll have to go inside, otherwise I'll get into trouble from my boss if he catches me live. At what time is it? About 3:30?
It's 3:40.
That means I've got 40 minutes to get all my work done.
Okay, then off you go.
So I'm going to toddle off up into my room, type away on the computer, and I shall see Mr. Duncan later for a cup of tea, maybe sitting outside, maybe with a cake. Hope he's got a nice cake.
There isn't any cake.
And no cake, he says. Oh,
you know there isn't.
And I shall see you all, look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. How about that, Mr. Duncan?
It's very good.
Bye.
What I love is when Mr. Steve tells you exactly what's happening. Mr. Duncan is adjusting the microphone. Mr. Duncan is scratching his bottom. Mr. Duncan is now... very strange. Anyway, bye, Steve. What are you doing, Steve?
I'm helping it to dry.
He's never right in the head. There's something wrong with him, I tell you. Oh, he's back. He's coming back. What? Why did you do that for? You've dirtied my shirt now. You've made my shirt dirty. That's it. Put it back. Did you see that? He threw my shirt on the ground. What's wrong with him? I think Mr. Steve might have sunstroke on his brain. I think so. I think he's been sitting in the car for too long. I think the heat inside the car has boiled Mr. Steve's brain. That's what I think. Okay, I'm very sorry if this is boring you, but is there anyone still there? Maybe? No, there isn't any cake. I don't know why Mr. Steve thought there was cake, but there isn't. There definitely isn't any cake at all. So goodness knows why he thought there was cake. I don't know. What type of cake do you like? Asks Julie. Well, Steve will eat anything cake shaped. But one thing we do like are scones, or of course hot cross buns. Because recently it was Easter, and at Easter we normally eat hot cross buns. So Mr. Steve likes those. But he's not very fussy. Not like me. I am a very fussy eater. Yes, did you see that? Mr. Steve threw my lovely white shirt on the floor. Terrible. Yes, Steve is a bit crazy, you're right. I agree with you all. Yes. Yes. And also, why were you waving my underwear around, Steve? Why? I want to know. Terrible. Look, Mr. Duncan's Adidas cap. Yes, I'm washing my cap. Can you see it hanging up over there on the line? So I'm actually washing my famous cap that I normally wear on Sunday. There it is. So for those who have just tuned in and you were wondering maybe what is going on, what is this craziness? My name's Mr. Duncan and I live in England and I teach English on YouTube. Normally I'm in there in the studio, but because the weather is so nice today, I couldn't resist coming outside. Yes, I also washed my Adidas hat. Don't work so hard, Mr. Duncan. I love being busy. There's nothing worse than being inactive or lazy. So I'm not a lazy person. I always like to be doing something in my daily life. Hello, Mr. Duncan. It's a very sunny day. Thank you, Mutato. Your name is lovely, by the way. Yes, we are here watching you, Mr. Duncan. Oh, thank you very much for that. So on Sunday I will be here live. I will be showing you exactly what I've been doing this week in the house, because I've been very busy indoors as well as outdoors. So I have had a very busy week. Also talking to Mr. Steve on Sunday, as you just saw. I hope by Sunday Mr. Steve will have calmed down a little bit. I hope so. It's very hot in Italy, and there, well, here in the UK it isn't very hot today. It isn't as hot as it has been. It was very hot yesterday, about 25 degrees yesterday here. Are you hungry, Mr. Duncan? Yes, I'm very hungry. I'm looking forward to eating tonight because tonight we have curry. Curry. Got a bit of curry tonight. So, as usual, on a Friday night, we will be eating curry for supper or tea or evening dinner. I'm so hungry, says Alarmiga. I'm so hungry. Please don't talk about food. I will try not to talk about food. Oh, I wanted to say that Mr. Steve looks very handsome. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that, please. It will go straight to his head. Hello, Mr. Duncan. The weather is very nice today there. It is very windy where I am. Nesrin. Hello, Nesrin. How are you today? Of course, if you have been following the news, you will know that in London at the moment, or should I say down the south, there is a big meeting taking place at Windsor Castle. And lots of the heads of states from the Commonwealth, all of the countries connected with the British Empire in the past, we call them the Commonwealth countries. And they are all meeting at the moment to decide who will be the new head of the Commonwealth. Now at the moment it's the Queen of England. And the Queen, can you guess how old the Queen of England will be on Saturday? Because it's her birthday this weekend. She will be 92. Ooh, 92, can you believe it? So the Queen of England will be 92 this weekend, and today it was announced that the new head of the Commonwealth will be Prince Charles, her son, which is very interesting because this is the first time that the Queen has had to acknowledge publicly that her reign may be coming to an end, because of course she is very old now. She's 92, so she might not live for much longer, although having said that, her mother lived until she was 100. So who knows, we might have the Queen around for another 8 years. Hello from Syria. The weather is a little windy here. Thank you very much for saying hello, and I hope the wind will settle soon. I hope the storms in Syria will ease away. Hello there, Mr. Duncan. I'm watching you from Egypt, and I wish I could see you here, sir. Well, it would be very nice if I could travel to all of the places that I've always wanted to visit. There are many countries around the world that I would love to visit. I would really love to see. But I suppose I just have to wait. I have to wait. I have to be patient. Hello from South Korea. I watched your videos a lot, but I never said a word to you in the live chat. Thank you, Bring Freedom. Thank you very much, and I love your name, by the way. I am very lucky to meet this live stream. Anyway, hello, Mr. Duncan. Hello, Bring Freedom. And a big hello to all those watching in South Korea. It's great to see you here today. It's lovely. It's lovely. I love it. I love it when people say hello for the first time. It's very exciting. I'm having difficulty reading the writings because I'm not wearing my reading glasses. I should have my reading glasses on, you see. Thank you very much for your messages about the ladybirds, by the way. A lot of people saying, Mr. Duncan, don't worry about the ladybirds. They will probably fly away soon. And guess what? You are right, because most of them have actually gone. So the ladybirds were here last week. There were hundreds and hundreds of them all around the house. But now they have all gone because the weather has turned warm and they have all flown away. Britain does not have large trees because I've never seen any in your videos? Well, there are places where you can see some big trees. In fact, here in Much Wenlock, there are some very large trees growing in the centre of Much Wenlock. Some beautiful big ferns and some beautiful big Canadian, I think they're Canadian pine trees, but they're huge, huge trees. So if I get a chance, I will film some of those trees for you. The weather is very snowy in Russia. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Is it really snowing in Russia? Let me just turn my camera around so I can give you a better view. Just give me a moment. Okay, that's the view looking uphill. Oh, that's better. I think you can see me a little clearer now. That's better. Yes, and there are some people walking at the moment at the back of the house. So we do get a lot of people walking up and down the hillside. So there are some people at the moment walking. And last year, I made a little joke last year. Do you remember last year during one of my live streams? I said that people were coming to look at me. So, but it wasn't really, it was just some tourists who were walking around. But I pretended that they were coming to see me. Can you tell me which tree is on the left? The tree on the left, that is a type of conifer. So that particular tree on the left is a type of conifer. And the other one, you can see, is a cherry blossom tree. So yes. Thank you for your agreement, Julie. You are welcome. Thank you very much. There's some very nice live chats taking place today. Very lovely. Mr. Duncan from St. Petersburg. Oh, hello there. Hello to you as well. Thanks for your interesting lessons. Here there is no snow, but it is 7 degrees. Oh, that's not very warm at all. That's not very warm at all. It is actually about 19 degrees today. Not as warm as yesterday. Yesterday we had a very warm day. Thanks for your agreement. I don't know what you are agreeing about, but I'm very pleased to hear that you are agreeing about something. Oh, Mr. Duncan, I love it when the birds are singing. The birds are very busy at the moment. There is a lot going on with the birds. Osama is here. Hello, Osama. Nice to see you as well. The beautiful nature. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that there are people who appreciate this, because I sometimes get very worried. I get a little bit worried that maybe this is all very boring. But I love it. I love coming outside. I love listening to the birds. And I really love sharing it with you. Just like last night with the sunset. How about your new neighbour? Do you get along with them? My new neighbours are lovely. The neighbours that live on that side. Because the person that lived there before moved away. And now I've got some new neighbours. But they are very nice. Very lovely. A few weeks ago when we had snow, we were all outside clearing the snow from the roads, and we were all working together. So it was a great feeling, a great atmosphere. So yes, my new neighbours are very nice. It's good to see you live. Thank you, Lee Bruce, for your message there. And I am live at the moment on YouTube, and you can catch me every week live on YouTube on Wednesday at 10 p.m. UK time, and on Sunday at 2 p.m. UK time. If I seem a bit distracted, it's because there is a big bumblebee flying around. So that's the reason why I seem a little bit distracted at the moment. So please excuse me. I hope you can hear me clearly. Hi, from Vietnam, Hu Hoi Fan. Hello to you as well. There is a peaceful feeling in your garden. It's the right place to read a book or to take a rest. Well, quite often when I'm live streaming, I like to stand up. But if I'm here in the garden relaxing, I normally sit on a chair and maybe eat some food or have a lovely cup of tea. That's what we're doing soon, you see. Yes, the Queen is very old. Yes, she's 92 this weekend. The Queen of England is 92, and it looks as if she is going to be taking things much easier as she gets older. And today she officially handed over leadership of the Commonwealth states. So it looks as if the new head of the Commonwealth will be Prince Charles, and that's the first time that the Queen has ever acknowledged publicly that her time is coming to an end. It's the first time it's ever happened. So it's quite a historic moment, really. Very historic. Carol Gilm is here. Hello, Carol. I don't think I've spoken to you before. Where are you from? Where are you watching at the moment? Oh, a fly has just gone into my ear. Ooh. I'm very worried just in case it sets up home inside my head, because there's plenty of space in there, you see. Mr. Duncan, I'm actually trying to learn the British also. I love the British accent. Can you give me any advice to improve my skills? Well, it's all about listening, and if you want to change the way you speak, you listen, you copy, you can shadow, which is a very popular thing now, where people shadow. They listen to the way in which a person speaks, and they try to copy it, or they try to get used to using a very similar style of speech. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I'm so happy to hear you. I think it helps us to learn English very well. Thank you, Hung. Thank you very much. You are welcome. There are many good books out that are available. There are many good textbooks. I would always advise anyone who is learning English as a second language to actually get hold of a dictionary, a good dictionary that will give you lots of very useful words, but also translations as well. So maybe you can get a dictionary that will translate words from your language to English, and of course from English to your language. But never be without a dictionary. That's one of the best pieces of advice I will ever give you. We are very glad that you are here every day online. Oh, thank you, Ernesto. I'm not sure if I'm going to be here every day. But as long as the sun shines, as long as there is the sun in the sky, and there isn't even a cloud in the sky today. Do you want to have a look? Shall we point the camera up so you can see just how little cloud there is? There's no cloud in the sky today. Yes. The sky is cloud free. Cloud free. There is not a single cloud in the sky. You might not be able to tell, but the sky is actually blue at the moment. I can't believe Mr. Steve threw the clothes peg at me. It hit me in the face. Here, I've got the evidence here. Look, Mr. Steve threw this at me. He threw it and it went ba-ding in my face. I can't believe it. That's abuse, that is. That's abuse. Hello from China. Oh, we have someone from China watching. A big ni hao to China. I used to live in China. I lived there for over 4 years. What's the degree of your temperature now? It seems very pleasant. It's not as warm as it was yesterday. Yesterday we had a very lovely sunny day. It was about 24, 25 degrees. But today it's a little cooler, but still very pleasant, very nice. It's around 19 degrees today. Davy asks, do you speak Chinese? My answer to that is Idiandian, Idiandian, which means a little. Could you please explain what he was like? What does he was like? I don't know what you mean by that. Can you please explain what he was like? Does it mean he was like? Well, you can use like to mean similar to. So if you're similar to something. So he was like a brother to me. He was like a father to me. So you can say he was very similar, very similar. So like is often used to mean similar. Teacher, do you have a school that teaches English in your village? Well, we have schools, but we don't have any English language training centres, nothing like that. But there are some schools here in this area. I am from India and I used to see all of your live streams. Thanks for teaching us. Thank you, Suresh. Suresh Kumar, I recognise your name. Yes, you used to join in with my live streams many months ago. By the way, this July, I think it's July the 15th this year, it will be 2 years since I started live streaming. 2 years in July. And of course, I have been on YouTube for over 11 years teaching English. What did you do when you were in China? I taught English as a second language. I worked in China. I lived in China. And it was a great experience. Where are you from? Me? Where am I from? At the moment, I'm broadcasting to you live from England in my garden on a very sunny day. You speak English very clearly. Thank you very much. Well, it is my job. A lot of people say, Mr. Duncan, you speak English very well. Is this how you normally speak in your day-to-day life? And I say, yes, it is. This is how I normally speak. Maybe you think that I have a Cockney accent, really. Hello, my name's Mr. Duncan, and I come from London. Your t-shirt looks like a zebra. It does a little bit. Yesterday I was wearing my blue t-shirt with the white stripes, but today I'm wearing my black t-shirt with the white stripes. You are still younger. Me? Yes, a lot of people ask my age. I don't know why. People are very interested in finding out how old I am. I don't know why. Tariq is here. Oh, thank you very much for saying hello, Tariq. Hello, Mr. Duncan. No one has more passion as a teacher as you. Your ability is beyond any description. Thank you for existing. Thank you, Tariq. That is very kind of you to say. Very kind. Yes, I hear the accent. I hear it from the BBC. Thank you, Bring Freedom, and it's great to see you here. As I said earlier, everyone is welcome to my live streams. Sometimes I want to say things in English, but then I have to translate. Well, over time, you learn to translate in your head. So when you start learning English as a second language, you have to do things in stages. You can't rush learning English. It's impossible. You can't do it. Because if you try to rush it, you will make lots of mistakes, and perhaps you will become frustrated and maybe even give up learning. Where did you learn pronunciation? You say you speak well all the time. Me? Well, I learned English as a child. So because I live in England, I'm a native English speaker, and so I've spoken English for many, many years. You are living in a beautiful place that is surrounded by trees and grass. I want to move to your town. Yes, why not? Why not? Why not move somewhere in the countryside, maybe somewhere rural, surrounded by nature? It's one thing that I've always wanted to do. I loved nature as a child, and this particular area that I live in now, I used to visit as a child. So it was always a dream of mine to live in the countryside. And quite often, dreams do come true. Sometimes you have to wait for many years for the dream to be a reality. How much material do you suggest for us to read and listen to every day? I would say an hour or maybe a couple of hours, maybe 2 hours. So maybe 2 hours you can spend over the day. So maybe you can learn a little bit of English or listen to some English for an hour. And then later in the evening, you can do it again for another hour. So maybe 2 hours every day, but not necessarily the whole 2 hours. So maybe you can do an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. But it is very important to do it every day. I can't stress it enough. You must practice your English every day. What is your countryside? You mean behind me? The area that I live in? This is Shropshire. Shropshire. In England. And I am an Englishman. I will buy a property just near to your house, and I will use a camera to spy on what you do every day. Well, you don't need to do that. I have my own camera to spy on me. You don't need to have a camera because my camera is here, you see, to spy on me. I'm spying on myself. And you are all watching as well. Do you think it is useful to repeat your words when I listen to you? Asks Christina. Of course, yes. If you can shadow or listen and then repeat, it's a very good way of getting used to using English. I think one of the hardest things for people learning English is to actually speak the language. And when I say speak, I don't mean knowing the words. I just mean having the confidence to do it. So don't be afraid to do it. Never be afraid to sit at home, or maybe if you have some time alone and you want to just read something, read it out loud. Read it clearly so you can hear the sound of your own voice. So many people are a little afraid to speak out, but not because they don't know the English language. It's because they lack the confidence to do it. In American English, I heard the expression I was all, or was like, to mean like he said. I don't really know what you mean by that. I mean, the word like can be used in many ways anyway. So like can mean similar. Like can also mean to enjoy something or to admire something. So you like watching my lessons, or one thing is similar to another. So that is like that. They are similar. How can we have the best usage of your lessons on YouTube? Asks Lee Bruce. Well, you can use the lessons however you want, and that's the reason why they are there. So whenever you get a chance, whenever you get time, whenever you have a little moment to yourself, you can watch 5 minutes of one of my lessons, 10 minutes. You can watch them in any order, as long as you are listening to what I'm saying and also learning something at the same time. So yes, I think there are many ways in which you can use my lessons. So they aren't structured. They are not structured. I think that's what you are actually asking. What about another guy who is the most handsome gentleman in the world? Oh, I see. Where is he? Are you talking about Mr. Steve? He was here earlier and he was picking on me. Can you believe it? He threw my shirt on the floor. Made it all dirty. I listen to some podcasts when I go to work and when I wash the dishes and so on. And I read simplified books. Yes, Julie, that is a very good way of doing it. As I always say, when you learn something new, don't be afraid to learn like a child. Because when you learn anything from the very start, you have to learn the simple things. So never be afraid to learn like a child, because it's the best way to learn. So don't be afraid to repeat yourself, or to repeat things that you hear, or to write things down, or to read things that are in very simple English. Never be afraid to do that. Hey, the Ukraine is here. Yes, Ukraine is here. Mr. Duncan, you have beauty and it is natural. Thank you, Doa Saleh. Doa Saleh, where are you watching at the moment? Do you know TS? Maybe you do. Are phrasal verbs the same in British English and in American English? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But what has happened over the years is that a lot of American English has made its way into British English, and a lot of British English has made its way into American English. So you will find nowadays it is very universal. So maybe 20 or 30 years ago, maybe certain idioms were only used in one particular place. But nowadays, because of the internet and television and movies, you will find that all of these things have become very, very universal. They are used on both sides of the Atlantic. I sometimes study English for 1 hour a day. That's fine. If it feels good, if that's okay, if that's all the time you have, then 1 hour is perfect. But my suggestion is maybe 2 hours a day. 2 hours. Yes, the birds are singing. They are very vocal today. Patricia says, thank you. You are welcome. No problem. That's what I'm here for. I always try to help you. I don't pretend to know everything in the world, but there are things I know and also things that I don't know. So I am here learning as well. But when it comes to English, well, I've been doing that for many years. There is a great big bee buzzing around me. He's over there now. Stay over there, Mr. Bumblebee. Please don't come near me. How long have I been on now? Let's just have a look. You can never tell how long you've been on. Oh, there's only 34 people watching. I thought there was more than that. That's a shame. Let's have another look, shall we? Oh, that's better. There's 100 people. Whew. I was getting worried then. I nearly had a heart attack. Careful, Mr. Duncan. Don't get stung. So, yes, they don't bite. Bees don't bite. They sting. Sting. Mr. Duncan, would you make a short poem on that lovely day? Well, I did write a little poem a while ago about spring. What is it about the season of spring that makes you want to dance and sing? Do you know the one I'm on about? Yes. So a bee will sting you, and the past tense is stung. Sting, stung. Present, sting. Past, stung. Mr. Duncan, your lessons have helped me understand English. You're a professional in your field, just like Mr. Steve is a great gardener. Yes, Mr. Steve is planning to go out into the garden tomorrow. He wants to do some work in the garden. Thank you, Vika, for your lovely message there, and I will pass your compliment on to Mr. Steve. My stomach is now making a rumbling noise. Mr. Steve will be wanting his cup of tea soon, so I might have to leave you. So I hope you don't mind. Please spell your village, teacher. I am going to you. What, you're coming here now? You have live lessons on Sunday and Wednesday. Yes, I do. Lee, I'm online on Wednesdays, late and live at 10 p.m. And on Sunday, I am with you at 2 p.m. UK time. So don't forget, both of those times are UK times. 10 p.m. Wednesday, 2 p.m. Sunday. What about Fridays? Well, normally I'm not here on Fridays, so normally I'm only here twice a week. So only twice a week. But this week, because the sun has been shining and everything looks so lovely at the moment, I couldn't resist doing another live stream today. I want to practice my English, but how could I do that? Well, there are many ways of practicing your English, just like anything. So sometimes you can do English theory, so you can learn things about English that you store in your head. But of course, the best way to learn English is to do it in a practical way, and that is to practice using it. Yes. Pedro is going. See you later, Pedro. I think Pedro is going to watch his favourite television programme. According to your experience, what do you think the reason why American pronunciation is not attractive and interesting like British English? Thank you, James, for that. Well, some people prefer American English. They like the sound of the accent. American accent. Some people prefer the British accent. So really it's all about personal taste. It is very subjective. Greetings from Cuba. Oh, hello, Cuba. Hello. I noticed a couple of days ago your leader, Raul, has stepped down. Very big news. So that is the end of the Castro era in Cuba. It's a country I would like to visit one day, actually. I would like to visit Cuba. It's a very intriguing country. Greetings from Bulgaria, Nikolai. Hello, Nikolai. Thanks for joining me today. Do English people use idioms frequently? Not all the time, but sometimes they can come in very useful, and it's a very good way of expressing yourself clearly if you want to use an idiom in everyday conversation. Thanks for making me love the English language, says Tariq. You are welcome, no problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm glad I can be of service. Hello, Mr. Duncan. For your light. Hello, For Your Light. I love your YouTube channel. Can you help me with the meaning of this? I am up to no good. If you are up to no good, it means you are doing something naughty. You are doing something you shouldn't. You are being naughty. You are up to no good. So no good often means bad. So something that is no good is bad. So if you are up to no good, it means you are doing something naughty or something wrong or something you shouldn't be doing. I hope that helps. You are welcome, Mr. Duncan. I will be happy to help you with your garden care. Thank you, Vika, for that. The birds sing in every country in the same way. Yes, the international language of bird song. All around the world, the birds speak their own language. Can you show your house by moving the camera? Why? Why do you want to see my house? Why indeed? Hello, Mr. Duncan from MX25. Oh, hello, MX25A. I haven't seen you for a very long time. Where have you been? I've missed you. We've all missed you. Where have you been? Where? Private thing. Shishie. Shishie, which means thank you in Chinese. Yes, it is a private thing. Lee Brooks says 10 p.m. in the UK is very late for me in Asia. You are right, yes. But on Sunday, you can join me and it won't be so late. It won't be so late. So on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. I am Denise. Oh, hello, Denise. Denise from Brazil. I haven't spoken to you before. I think maybe it's the first time for you to speak to me on the live chat. If it is, please let me know. And if it really is, if it is your first time, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to my little garden here in England on a very sunny day. I'm a very patient person, you know. Sometimes people can be very impatient. They can't wait. But this afternoon I wanted to do my live stream at 3 o'clock, but there was a woodpecker on the bird feeder and I didn't want to disturb it. So I waited until the woodpecker finished feeding. And then I started my live stream. So I was so worried about disturbing the woodpecker, I just waited for it to finish. Sometimes you have to be patient in this world. You can't have everything at once. That is one of the lessons that I learned in my life. Sometimes you have to wait for the good things to arrive. Hello from Algeria, Ahmed. Hello, Ahmed. Nice to see you here today on the live English chat. Live in the garden from England. That's where I am at the moment. Mr. Duncan has got into the habit of going live every day. You were supposed to edit something. I've done that already. I did that this morning. So that's no problem. Mr. Duncan, one more time with the unreadable nickname. Oh dear. The last time I tried to say your name, it was very difficult. Peter Babu Za Detalje or Detalje. I think it's Detalje. I bet it is. I bet it ends with yay. Pitaj Babu Za Detalje. Yes. Is that near? Am I getting better? What is the difference between few and a few? Well, it's the same meaning, really. It means not many. A few people or few people. So few people follow Mr. Duncan on YouTube. Or a few people follow. So it still relates to the number. So it still relates to a few. So not many. So you might say that many is the opposite of few. So few, many. When I'm learning American English, I see many wrong words or poor structure in writing. But British English is very correct. Why? Well, I suppose it's because England is the birthplace of English. That's it. I can't put it any other way. Although, having said that, can I let you in on a secret? Don't tell anyone else. But many children are leaving school now with very poor levels of English. So English writing, English spelling, for example, and they're very terrible with their grammar and punctuation. So apparently there is a big problem at the moment with students leaving school, they finish school, and their level of English is very low. So things are changing for the worse. Hello, Mr. Duncan, how have you been? I've seen your video on YouTube, but it's the first time that I see you live. I'm excited. Thank you, Barman. Hello, Barman. How are you today? Are you okay? I really hope so. Do you have any children? Me? Do I? My children are all around me, flying in the sky, running around the fields. My children are everywhere. Nature. I'm talking about nature. Can you tell me the meaning of the word murder? If you murder someone, you kill them on purpose. You mean to do it. You murder someone. You kill a person. Murder. I'm from Brazil as well. I find it a little difficult to understand the British accent, but somehow I understand yours. That's because I have a very special magic way of teaching. My nickname means ask your grandmother for details. Oh, I see. Okay, then. I thought you were telling me to ask my grandmother. It's very difficult because none of my grandparents are alive anymore. Mr. Duncan, how is life in Britain? Suresh, life in Britain isn't too bad. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes there are problems. Sometimes there are difficulties. And quite often there is adversity to overcome. But I would say that life isn't too bad. But it's not perfect. I am going to go in a moment, unless you would like to enjoy the scenery whilst I go to make Mr. Steve a cup of tea, so I can leave the live stream on and you can just enjoy the nature whilst I make a cup of tea, and then I will come back, or I can just say goodbye now and end the live stream. It's up to you, really. Can you pronounce my name? I want to check if I wrote it correctly. Oh, I see. Well, I can read Barman Nirumandi. Barman Nirumandi. Is that okay? Nirumandi. Barman Nirumandi. And that is what your name sounds like when I sing it. What a nice day. Yes, it's a lovely day. I couldn't resist coming outside to do a live stream. It's so gorgeous. It's a beautiful sunny day. It really does feel as if summer has arrived. Mr. Duncan, where is that place? What region of England? This is a part of England called Shropshire. Shropshire. It is the county. The large area that surrounds me is called Shropshire. Do you plan to live somewhere else, or do you want to live in Much Wenlock forever? Well, I would like to stay here for as long as possible because it's lovely. It's very nice. I like the nature. I love the weather. I like the feeling of being here. So, yes, I think I will probably stay here for quite a long time until they carry me away. Hello from Tenerife, David Calero. Hello, David. I think I've said hello to you before. Nice to see you here again. Yes, isn't that nice? Mr. Duncan, my name is Afaf, and it is written in the Arabic language. You don't have to apologise, though. There's no need to apologise. It's all right. Hi, Mr. Duncan. I'm very glad to see you. I'm from St. Petersburg. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been to Russia? No, I've never been to Russia. But again, it's another country that I'm very intrigued by. Very intrigued. Tariq asks, is it common in English to use the expression you are a pain in the ass? I'm shocked. Well, yes, we do use that expression, but we don't say ass, we say arse. It's a nice place. By profession, you are a teacher. Thank you, Trend. Yes, that's what I do. I've been teaching English on YouTube for over 11 years. I started doing this way back in 2006, whilst I was still living in China. So way back in 2006, I was living in China, teaching English as a second language, and I started making YouTube videos. So yes, I've been doing this for a long time. A very long time indeed. Ah yes, thank you very much to Vika. Yes, a lot of people have given me the answer to the question I asked the other day when I was doing my live stream in the garden on the mobile phone. Yes, the flower Helleborus. Yes, the flower that I showed you the other day, the pink flower that stays awake during the early months of the year, is the Helleborus. I think it's also called the Christmas rose as well. I think it has lots of different names. So I think the particular flower you were talking about and the one I showed you the other day, I think also it's called the Christmas rose as well, or winter rose. I hope to visit England one day. It looks great. It's not bad. It isn't bad. Yes, it's all right. It's okay. I can't really complain, even though sometimes we do like to complain. That is one thing that English people do very well. We really love complaining. Especially Mr. Steve. He loves complaining so much. How is your Chinese now, Mr. Duncan? Can you still speak or understand Chinese? I can understand some Chinese. When I was living in China, I had to learn certain words and phrases so I could survive. Mr. Duncan, a lot of people have gone to stay a long time in Britain from my country. Why? I don't know why, but I know that Britain is a very popular country for people who want to emigrate, who want to go from their country to this country. So there are many attractions. I think the weather might be one of them. I don't know. Because here we have a very temperate climate. So we have lots of lovely seasons. So we have the cool and refreshing spring. We have the warm, but rarely too hot summer. We also have the beautiful, colourful autumn. And to end the year, we also have the very cold and sometimes scenic winter. So I think one of the reasons why I like living here is because of the seasons. I think the seasons are great. How long does it take each of your live lessons? It depends. Normally on Sunday I am here for 2 hours. So on Sundays I'm normally on for 2 hours, and on Wednesdays from 10 p.m. UK time I am on for normally about 1.5 hours. And today I am on for goodness knows. It's up to you, really. Hi sir, how to find an English girlfriend? Any tips? Oh, I see. Oh. MX6 is looking for a girlfriend. Maybe there is a beautiful girl out there watching now who would like to go on a date. Maybe a blind date with MX. I think you will have to show some sort of photograph though, you know, before anything happens, to be honest. Mr. Duncan, you are like a candle. You consume your life to light the path of the students. Thank you, Tariq, for that. I just love doing this. I enjoy it. I get a lot of satisfaction. I find it very interesting. I love talking to you. I love sharing my experiences. I love listening to you, sharing your experiences with me. So it's a great experience. Most people who teach in their life find that the job is very rewarding. And by that, I mean from the experience of doing it, not from the financial gain. Oh, I see. So the H is not pronounced. I see. Okay then. Baman. So it's Baman. Baman. Okay then. Thank you, Baman, for correcting me. Sir, how much do you earn per month? Zachariah, that's a very private question to ask. I'm going to sneeze in a moment. Wait there. There we go. There is something you didn't expect. A live sneeze from Mr. Duncan. I think I might have hay fever today because I was sneezing this morning. How much do you earn from YouTube every month? Not much. Bless you, sir. Thank you very much. Oh, isn't that kind? I just had a big sneeze and someone said, bless you. Thank you very much. I'm not sick. I just have hay fever because all of the flowers and the pollen is going up my nose at the moment. How old are you, Mr. Duncan? Why are so many people interested in my age? Some very personal questions today. How old are you? What does your house look like? How much do you earn? Oh, unbelievable. Very nicely spoken. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Yes, I have some very nice compliments today. I do appreciate that. A lot of people asking if I have pets. I don't have pets. I suppose Mr. Steve is a little bit like a pet. Mr. Duncan, when you start live streaming, most populated countries like China and India will not see you because the time is not suitable. Well, I can't be viewed in China anyway because YouTube is blocked. It is blocked in China. What is the best moment that you got that motivated you to go strongly into teaching on YouTube? Asks Trend. I think the thing that attracted me was just the fact that I could reach people who might not normally have the chance to listen to English being spoken. So that's the main reason why. That's the reason why I started doing it in the first place on YouTube. So the reason why I started doing it was to give everyone the same chance? Why do you think you have given this gift of having good English, despite your former teacher doing self-study? Do you think... I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Estes. I will try to read that again later and hopefully answer the question. Sir, how can I remember words? Oh, a very common question. The best way to remember words is to write them down and try to remember them by repeating them. So if you repeat something, if you repeat it, eventually it will stay in your head. Barman says you are a generous person. You're not only famous English teacher. I'm not sure if I'm famous. I never think that I'm famous, to be honest. I don't see myself as famous. But you share your videos for free and communicate with your students live. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm the only person that does this. I'm the only person that spends a lot of time talking to you live. There are many English teachers who record their lessons, and maybe they record 2 or 3 lessons in one day and then they put them on YouTube. But I am the only person that spends a lot of time and a lot of energy live. Mr. Duncan, have you ever visited any Arab countries? I haven't. I've never visited any Arab countries, although I would love to go, maybe not an Arab country, but maybe a North African country. I've always wanted to go to Morocco. I'm very interested in Morocco. I don't know why. Maybe it's the food. I think so. I think Mr. Steve wants his tea. Just a moment. I will be back in a moment. Don't go away. Did you see that? Did you see the person walking by then, up there? That is the man who owns this field. So the field behind me isn't mine. That doesn't belong to me. So the man that you just saw going by, he owns all of that land. Can you believe it? Does anyone recognize this? It's the shirt that I wear on Sunday. So I'm just washing it, or I've just washed it, and now I have to hang this on the line. So you can see this t-shirt on Sunday during my Sunday live stream. But now I must hang it on the washing line. I'm back, don't worry. I hope you didn't get too worried there. Mr. Duncan, you are a generous person. You are... Oh, I'm getting so many lovely compliments today. I'm very moved. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Why my greeting isn't showing in the screen? Insomniac Gossip. Insomniac Gossip, I can see your message now on my phone. It is right in front of me. Why is my greeting not being shown? Well, I can see it anyway. So hello from Azerbaijan again, and hello to Azerbaijan as well. Wikipedia says you are well known, so it must be true. Am I on Wikipedia? Am I really? I didn't know that. Am I really on Wikipedia? I don't think so. No. Me? Tell us about one of your most beautiful countries you have visited. Well, I've been to quite a few countries in the past. I think one of the most memorable must be, I suppose, Turkey. I did enjoy my time in Turkey. I went to Turkey twice, and I had a lovely time there, mainly because of the scenery and just how beautiful the place is and how friendly people were. It left a very strong impression on me. In my opinion, if you were a chosen actor, you would have been better than Mr. Bean. Thank you, Tariq. You sound a little bit like the students in China that I used to teach. They used to say the same thing. They used to say, Mr. Duncan, you remind us of Mr. Bean. I don't know what you mean by that. Semi says, I am from Turkey. Well, a big hello to you. I've been to your country in the past. Other places I visited in the past, I've been to Malaysia many times, another lovely country. I've also been to France and also to the Netherlands and also, of course, China. I've been to China as well. And another place I've been to, the Portuguese island of Corfu, Madeira. Oh, and Greece as well. I've been to Greece. Actually, I've been to so many times, so many places. Mustafa, see you later, Mr. Duncan. I will go to the mosque. See you later, Mustafa. So, I have a question for you, Mr. Duncan. Oh dear, this sounds very important. What is your recommended regional dish or home cooking in your house? Well, I like all different styles of food. For example, tonight we are having curry, fish curry tonight. Very nice. Do you know, Mr. Duncan, you are famous? Alangia? I'm not sure. I never think I'm famous. People don't stop me in the street and say, are you Mr. Duncan from YouTube? No one has ever said that here. No one. Why don't you move to Vietnam to teach English? Well, I suppose I could, but then I would be so far away from my family and my friends. And how would Mr. Steve survive on his own? Which city did you go to in Turkey? Was it Istanbul? No, I didn't go there. I went to a couple of places. One of them is called Kaş, and the other one is called Fethiye. Fethiye. Well, I actually stayed on a very small island, a very small island that had no roads, called Chevalier. Have you ever been to Indonesia? No, I've never been there, but I'm very glad to see that you are here today, watching from Indonesia, so it's very nice to see you here. What would you recommend to improve my listening skills? Well, just like learning to speak or learning to remember words, it's another thing that you have to practice over time. So spend some time when you are rested or when you can concentrate on the thing you are listening to. So don't try to do it too quickly. Don't do it when there are other things going on. So when you are learning English, when you are listening to English being spoken or used, make sure you are doing it during a relaxed period. How many English words should I learn? Oh, this is a great question. How long is a piece of string? There is no real figure for how many words you need, because it depends on what you want to say. It depends on how much English you want to understand. On my own or by myself? Carlos. The differences between on my own and by myself, well, again, they can be used in very similar ways. If you are on your own, you are alone. If you are by yourself, you are also alone. I did it alone. I did it by myself. Both of those things mean the same thing. Andre says, hello, Mr. Duncan. I am communicating right now and watching you. I will reward you with the title of Ambassador of English Language. Oh, that's very nice. Thank you very much. Do I get a medal? Maybe I can have a big medal that I wear around my neck. Anyway, I think I'm going to go in a moment because I've been on, goodness me, I've been on for over 2 hours? Have I really been on for 2 hours? That doesn't seem right. Have I really been on for 2 hours? I'm starting to lose my voice. Just a moment. I'm going to get a drink of water. That's better. My throat was becoming very dry. I can't believe, have I really been on here for 2 hours? Surely not. Why don't you get married, Mr. Duncan? Because I like staying happy. Hello, Mr. Duncan. I've just joined this chat. It's Lena. Hello, Lena. Nice to see you. Welcome back. It's nice to see you on the live chat. Lots and lots of people are here now, my regular viewers, and some people who are joining for the first time. If it is your first time watching, hello there. My name is Duncan and I teach English on YouTube. And today I'm doing something slightly different because I'm doing it live outside in my garden. What time is it there? At the moment it is 5 minutes to 5 o'clock. 5 to 5. 5 minutes away from 5 o'clock in the evening. So now it's kind of late afternoon, early evening. So normally 5 o'clock we say that it's coming towards evening. My phone is about to die. I will see you later. I'm going to give it some oxygen. Okay, thank you, Trend. See you later. The place around you seems very quiet. Is it the same all over the UK? And are you far from London? Asks Mina. I am very, very far from London. That's probably the reason why it's so quiet. So yes, I live a long way from London, about 160 miles from London, a long, long way away. And around here is very quiet because there aren't many people. Hello from Mexico. I love your lessons. Thank you, Rodrigo. Oh, a big hello to Mexico. I bet the weather is nice there. But the big question is it as nice as this? Is it? I don't know, because I'm not there. I took a lot of time to make a sentence. How to improve that? Well, again, the more you use something, the better you become at doing it. And the more you do it, the more you enjoy doing it. So it is a process. So quite often, learning something is a process. Mr. Duncan, which city are you in now? Well, I'm not in a city. I'm in a very small town, very small place. I can actually hear, just behind me, I can hear the woodpecker. And I think it's the same woodpecker that was in the garden earlier. In fact, that woodpecker caused my live stream to start late. It's true. Have you ever seen an alien? Well, I've seen Mr. Steve on a dark night. That very similar to an alien, very similar. Thanks a lot for your messages. It's very, very nice to hear from you. So many people. I've learned over 2,500 words and 12 sense forms, and I still can't talk. Well, you might need more than 2,000 words. It also depends on what you are trying to express, and that's what I said earlier. So you might have 1,000 words or 2,000 words, but maybe those words are not the words you want to express yourself with. So never stop learning new words. That's my advice. So even if you know 1,000 words, you carry on learning. Even if you know 1,000,000 words, just carry on learning. Never stop learning. Even I learn new words, and I'm English. Hello everyone, it's 12:52 from Flavia. It's time to go to the hospital where I work. Okay then, Flavia. But my big wish is to stay here and enjoy the wonderful picture and listen to the most beautiful language in the world. See you next time. See you, Flavia, and have a safe and enjoyable time at work. And see you again soon. Does it rain for most of the time in the UK? No. That's not true. It doesn't rain all the time. Sometimes, but not all the time. Hello, Mr. Duncan. Nice to meet you. My name is Sika Kwon, and I am from South Korea. Oh, okay. Then nice to meet you, Sika. Yes, very good. We have a few people on now watching in South Korea. So it's great to see you. As I mentioned earlier, the Queen of England is 92 this weekend, and on Sunday I will be talking about that. Also, I will be talking about ladybirds as well, because recently there have been lots and lots of ladybirds around here being a pest. So we'll be talking about that. Mr. Steve will be here also on Sunday as a special guest, as usual, every single Sunday. And maybe, perhaps, I'm not sure, we might get around to talking about uses of the word set, but I don't know. How long does it take to speak English fluently for a hard-working person? Well, again, it depends. It depends on how much time you have to learn it. So if you only learn a little bit every day, you will learn it slower. If you learn a lot over a week, then again, you will learn it quicker. So it really depends. There are people at the moment on YouTube who promise to teach you English in just a few moments or a few hours. It's not possible. You can't do that. You can't learn English in just a few hours. You can't. It's impossible. I will call it a day now. Thank you, Tariq, and I will see you later. I will also be going soon, so don't worry, you won't be missing anything. Can you speak Chinese? As I said earlier, Yi Dian Dian. A little. Just a little. So that's it. I am going. I think that is it from me. I am going to make Mr. Steve a cup of tea, and I am going to have one as well. A lovely cup of tea. And I will say goodbye. I will see you on Sunday. Is there a schedule for your online episodes? Yes, I will be here on Sunday. This Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Don't forget, UK time. So you have to work out what the time difference is between the UK and your country. 2 p.m. UK time, Sunday. And 10 p.m. Wednesday, UK time. I think England has the best climate in the world. Yes, I love the seasons. I love the English seasons. I love the spring. I love the summer. I love the autumn. And, yeah, I kind of like the winter, but not a lot. Especially the winter we've just had, because it's been a very long winter. We've had such a long winter. Hi, Mr. Duncan. I like your way of teaching. The first time I didn't understand what you said, but now I can. I'm very happy. The woodpecker is sitting in the tree. It sounds like the woodpecker is scolding me. He's saying, "Hey, Mr. Duncan, go back in the house. I want to eat some more peanuts." Enjoy your cup of tea. Thank you, Belarusia. Nice to see you here, by the way. Oh, and I can see your face now. I can see a picture of you on the icon. Oh, very nice. Thank you very much. Mr. Duncan, I like your way of teaching, and enjoy your tea. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Hung. Thank you, Fabrizio. Thank you, Julie, Christina. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you on Sunday, 2 p.m. UK time. This is Mr. Duncan in his garden, in the birthplace of the English language. That is, of course, England, saying thanks for watching me today, and I will see you very soon. And until then, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Of course you know what's coming next. Ta-ta for now, and you can enjoy the sound of the birds for a few moments. Oh, hello there. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you No, not really. Did you think I was starting all over again? No, I'm just joking. Oh, what happened there? What's going on? Maradini asks, what's going on? What do you mean, what's going on? I tell you what's going on. What's going on at the moment is I am going. That is what's going on. Or should I say, going off. Ta-ta for now. Again. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you still here? I thought you'd gone. Why are you still here? Haven't you got anything else to do? Go on, go and do some housework. I know what you should be doing right now. You should be practicing your English. Go on. Why are you still here in my garden? Don't you know this is private property? Would you like a cup of tea?